to learn what marketers need to know about the latest trends in Facebook advertising. I interviewed Rick Mulready in the podcast of Social Media Marketing to find out what marketers need to know about how to write a copy of a Facebook ad. I interviewed Molly Pittman in the podcast of Social Media Marketing to explore YouTube trends that marketers need to know. I interviewed Sean Cannell in the podcast of Social Media Marketing to find out what you need to know about Instagram Stories advertising. I interviewed Susan Benograd in the podcast of Social Media Marketing to find out how Instagram can be used to generate organic clues. I interviewed Ben Herman in the podcast of Social Media Marketing to learn how to create fascinating videos that work in organic social media or paid advertising. I interviewed Ezra Firestone in the podcast of Social Media Marketing to learn a new approach to Facebook advertising strategy. I interviewed Nicholas Kusnick in the podcast of Social Media Marketing to explore how words can inspire customer confidence. I interviewed Marcus Sheridan in the podcast Marketing and Social Media Marketing to explore the power of marketing stories. I interviewed Kendra Hall in the podcast of Social Media Marketing to learn all about measuring ROI. I interviewed Christopher Penn in the podcast of Social Media Marketing to find out how to win loyal fans. I interviewed David Merman Scott in the podcast of Social Media Marketing to learn the science behind making decisions. I interviewed Tracy Trost in the podcast of Social Media Marketing to explore the science behind the strategic use of content for 2020 and beyond. I interviewed Jay Bear in the podcast of Social Media Marketing. Susan specializes in Facebook advertising and is marketing director at Aimplater, a marketing agency specializing in paid research and social services. Sean specializes in video marketing, leads the podcast Think Marketing, and is the author of YouTube Secrets.